So the goal of the call is this. Chynna is our head of recruiting. Chynna has a lot of conversations. Chynna gets agents started. Sometimes doesn't get agents started because they're just not going to be a good fit for us. And she's done it at a very high level now, and even more successful. She continues to progress. So that's what we're going to talk about today. All right. Hello, everybody. Grady Polson here. Excited to be on here with you today. And even more so excited about our special guest, Mrs. Chynna Fox. She's joining us live in our office. And Chynna wears many hats. Mom, business owner, head of recruiting for FFL America, and agent success coach. Those last two I have more involvement in. The other two I'm not involved at all. But the reality, though, is Chynna has been someone who I have gotten the pleasure of working with over...
It's going to be 3 years.
Coming up on 3 years. And to watch her continue to blossom, continue to evolve, continue to get frustrated, to continue to get mad, and then continue to push through challenges and succeed at them at a very high level has been something from a parental point of view that I couldn't be more proud of her and what she's doing and continue to evolve as she's carving out and striving forward in her own life, and as well, especially within her career here at FFL America. And so the goal of the call is this. Chynna is our head of recruiting. Chynna has a lot of conversations. Chynna gets agents started. Sometimes doesn't get agents started because they're just not going to be a good fit for us. And she's done it at a very high level now, and even more successful. She continues to progress. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, without further ado, beyond excited to have you on today, Chynna. And I talk a lot, and so I'm going to pass it to you to let you talk more. And if you need me to role play or whatever, but this is your show, and,
cool.
and I'm happy to support you where you can, but you are the expert at our home office at recruiting, and now they're ready to learn.
Well, cool. I'm super excited, and I'm extremely thankful to be on. I'm a little nervous, so
doing great.
I usually just talk with like one or two people, so this is a lot of people.
It's just two people,
It's
right?
just two people.
It's just two people. You're talking to one guy right now.
So no, I really thank you so much, and I've learned so much from you as well as all the other guests that we've had in here. So that's really cool. So I get to hear from everyone in the company. So, just to kind of start out, I think mindset-wise, as a recruiter, or as you get into that, using that recruiting muscle like you talk about, is you still have to be structured. A lot of people think I can just talk to people. You can just talk to people. You can warm market. But if you're, sending out, cold messages, whatever it is, you have to be structured, and you have to be, you have to have a security blanket over your schedule, right? And so something you've taught me a lot, which I did not have when I first started working here, was like structuring and time blocking. And so now I have this mentality of, hey, I'm going to talk to this many people today, whether they're on my schedule or not. I'm going to reach out to this many people, and I'm going to have this many conversations. So that's been pretty cool. And my mentality is helping people. So there's so many people with everything that's gone on in the last few years that have no idea where their life's pointing them. One, they have, an entrepreneur mindset. They want to build something bigger than themselves, but they don't know how. And they're looking for that vehicle, and that's something you talk about a lot, and I've learned from you is, hey, this could be that vehicle for that person. And what was really cool is talking with Sean is having them believe in themselves and finding a point of what did they believe in, what's something they believe in, and bringing that belief back up. So I very much get into that mindset of I'm helping people because you are, but you can't, you can bring the horse to the water, but you can't make it drink.
Correct.
So I'm going to be here along the way, but at the end of the day, you have to write the policy. You've got to dial the phone. We've given you the resources, and that's what my job is here as an agent success coach, is really helping those people get going and being there along that process. And so they're like 2 or 3, 4 or 5 sales in, and they're like, hey, I don't need to call you to find out the Americo app isn't working. What button do I click? And I'm like, oh, it's this one or this one, So that's pretty cool. I guess I can go into like my goals, just kind of dive in.
Just keep going. You're doing fantastic.
Goal-wise, we've, talked about when leads come in, it's reaching out to them within 12 hours. So I try to reach out to them the second I get the lead come in. It comes in directly to my phone, whether it's social media, your social media, it's going to be any of our platforms, any of our websites, any of our forums, our ads, stuff like that. I immediately reach out to them. I call them 3 times. I have no shame. It's just I treat it like how you guys would. And I kind of took that approach of, as an agent dialing, okay, I should be doing that as a recruiter, right? So I'm going to call them 3 times back to back. I'm going to leave a voicemail. Then I'm going to send them a text and say, hey, this is Chynna Fox, agent success coach with Family First Life America, just reaching out to you. You requested some information. And then I send them our overview video. And that way they're like, I can just watch the overview video. I don't have to argue with her, right? Because some people just don't want to answer the phone or send a text back. And so they watch it and they're like, oh yeah, I'm an A candidate or a B candidate. And those are the people I want to talk to, right? C candidates, if you watch the whole overview, it's like, hey, this might not be the right fit for me.
See you later.
Yeah, see you later. And so it's really cool. I get to talk with those people that are interested. And so, 12 hours, no later than 12 hours, I'm talking to them. If I don't hear something back from them, I put it on my schedule to follow up. So that's pretty cool. We have like a whole drip system that we can just kind of drip on them. Some people come back around. So my daily goals is to get 4 to 5 people into class or into contracting a day, 20 to 25 people a week. And I talk to anywhere between 100 to 200 people a week. 200 is hefty when there's maybe just something's going on with the leads. Maybe we're targeting the wrong area. And so we were quick to adjust it, which is really nice. I'll notice, hey, we're kind of getting some people who very much want a W-2. And this is not a W-2, right? We want people who are ambitious, people who are interested in building a business and believing in themselves to do so. So that's who we're looking for. Some tracking systems we use are going to be, we're kind of old-fashioned sometimes. We use Google Sheets, right? It doesn't fail us. So we use Google Sheets, and that's how I kind of stay update with like the rest of the staff and onboarding and stuff like that, so they can help monitor. Obviously, here at FFL, we pay for the pre-licensing course, and so Excel Testing Solutions sends out every day they send out a notification to your staff that says, hey, these are the people that are in class and this is their progress and who they're tied to. So that's kind of cool because I can see who's actually moving forward and who's not. And I just talked to Joseph, but he said, oh, I'm almost done with the class, and he hasn't even started. So you kind of know where to focus your time. You want to focus on the people that are actually having actions with their words. So I really like that system. And then we also have like a CRM and stuff that we use. We use Active Campaign. That's what we love. And it just breaks it down. We can see them kind of move through the dispositions, and then we can see them go off to writing their first policy. And we stay very intertwined as a team. The second I bring somebody on that I'm like, hey, this guy, he's done a bunch of solar sales or whatever it is. And I'm like, he's sharp. He knows the lingo. He's been commission-based. He understands that mindset. I immediately get him hooked with you so you can have a conversation with him. And then we kind of go from there, whether it's in class or into contracting and what it may be. So lead sources, we're, doing everything, like I said, social medias, warm market. If we go to events or stuff, and at convention, I'm excited for convention just to talk to people in the airport. You run into a lot of people who are also traveling for work and stuff, and it sounds silly, but I feel like last year, that's what I did a lot too, was like, oh, they're a server and they really don't like what they're doing. What are you guys here for? And you just have a conversation. So that's pretty cool. So lead sources, social medias, running different ads on different sites, as well as reaching out to people. So like cold messaging, but a lot of the time it's people have found us on YouTube. So that's very nice. So, having good content is always good. What else? Am I missing something in there? I feel like I was...
No, let's just touch on content for a second. So,
okay.
So wherever you are in your business, if you're looking to explain this to other people, content and the thought process around content, is it something that gives value that could be that other people would share with other people to gain value from the thing, right? So whether or not you're creating content that's around making sales, or it's around mindset, or it's around lead options, or it's around business opportunities, or it's around, I'm going to shout out my little sister, Paris Ashley Home on Instagram, who's gone from basically a count of 0, like 68 people following her, and now she's got like 7,000 people that follow her because she does like little DIY tutorials, and she's a graphic designer with 2 kids and has no knowledge really of social media, but was like, hey, you know what? I really like redesigning my mantle and reframing this picture and flipping this cabinet. And she's created content around that's shareable and gives value that is being shared from DIY people all over Instagram. And she's this cutest my little sister. And like, I'm like, hey, you should take it and you should put it on YouTube Shorts and you should put it on TikTok, and then make sure you get a YouTube channel, or make sure, and then make sure you create a website, start generating email lists, because you don't own your, so I'm like, I'm going on marketing brain on her. But like, that's the thing. Like, so for you guys who want to start recruiting using social media, the answer is, the easiest answer, it's not, hey, join my life insurance business, I'll give you high compensation and great training. It's, hey, I was meeting with a family this past weekend, and I was sitting with Bob and Betty, and Bob and Betty were really confused about the way life insurance works. But the company that I work at, we have lead availability, and we have a lot of carrier options, and because I'm a broker. And I was able to explain to them the different type of products, the way the difference between term and whole life products work, and they felt really comfortable to go forward with, and they got a whole life product to protect them, and they also got an accidental on top of that. So if you're interested in insurance sales, I can help you understand the values of whole life, right? Boom. Now you post that. And then here, I'm going to do a training on what whole life is. I'm going to do a training on what term life is. I'm going to talk about my day. That's content marketing in the simplistic form. Is you're giving something out there to your group of people that follow you and or trying to reconnect with others that makes them better off, right? And better off can be multitudes of forms. If it makes people laugh, maybe people want laughter. But if there's no real value to it, then it's not going to get shared. And that's not really how you put something in place or build something where you're creating content. So that's kind of what we've strived to do, and what a lot of our agencies do, and what our top agency managers do who grow utilizing social media, is they're utilizing valuable training that puts them in a position where people go, I like this person, I want to learn more about what they're doing. So just a little sidebar tip. So
yeah, it's true. I mean, there's so many different pieces of content that you've done that we're like, we're going to try this, Yeah. And it reaches somebody. So, so conversation wise, once the lead comes in, I immediately call them. And if they don't answer the phone, I'm going to call them again and again. And then I'm going to leave a voicemail and just say, hey, this is Chynna Fox, Agent Success Coach here at Family First Life America. You just requested this information on learning more about working with us. Give me a call back. I'd love to connect with you. And so sometimes they call me back, sometimes they don't, or they'll just shoot me a text. And so I will text them this pretty much the same thing with our overview video. And then sometimes people are at work, right? Because some of these people currently have jobs. And I send them my Calendly link to schedule a time with me. So I have a time frame every day blocked out for about 4 or 5 hours that's just specifically Calendly links. So
how do you say it? Like, how do you say, book a call with me? Hey, John, I just left you a message, and he texts you back, hey, I'm at work. And you say, hey, perfect, not a problem.
Yeah.
So here's my link to book an appointment on my calendar. We can, okay.
Yeah. I literally just text back. I say, perfect, go ahead and watch our overview video. And I send the link, and I say, schedule a time with me. I have some time tomorrow. And then
Directive.
And I have some time tomorrow, and then I send it to them, and my Calendly will only show like an hour block. Because just like dialing, I want them to know that I'm busy. So it's important for them to want what we have. And so, because it could just be the next opportunity for them to change their life. And so they schedule a time with me, and if they don't, then I just follow up with them. I'll call them the next morning because I know that they're busy right now. So I'll call them, and they answer the phone. Hey, John, this is Chynna Fox with Family First Life America. I'm an Agent Success Coach here. You submitted a request to learn more about working with us. Do you have a few minutes to connect? And they're like, yeah, I remember doing that. I sent in my information. Yeah, now's a good time. Okay, perfect. Did you get a chance to watch our overview video? If they say no, I'm going to say, is this a phone number I can send a text to? And they say yes. I send them the overview video as I'm on the phone with them. Did you get that? I just sent it over to you. Takes about 10 minutes. Go ahead and watch it. It's going to really break down our business. I think it's important everyone watches this before I talk with them, so I can make sure that this would be a good fit for both you and I. And they're like, okay.
Awesome.
They're like, yeah, okay, got it. And so they get off the phone, watch the video. If they have watched the video, sometimes, and most of the time, people that we're talking to, I've watched a bunch of videos. I've seen all the YouTube videos, whatever it is. I just now decide I've been watching for a while. Okay, perfect. And I kind of jump into it. Have you what are you currently doing for work? Have you ever owned your own business? Have you ever been an entrepreneur? What are some goals you have, both financially? What are some goals you have for your time? And I try to find out a pain point with them, just kind of how you guys do with selling. I want to find a pain point on why they're looking for something different. And some people can be a little reserved when I'm talking to them, especially licensed people. They kind of say, well, I'm with another company, or I'm currently doing this, but I'm kind of putting it on the back burner because I didn't have leads, or I don't have training, I can't afford it. And I just kind of break that down for them. Okay, so you're currently an agent, you don't have training, is that what you said? I repeat it back to them. Yeah, I don't have training where I'm currently at. Oh, okay. And you said you saw us on Facebook, right? Yeah, I saw you guys on Facebook. Okay. Did you get a chance to check out our YouTube? You saw the overview video. Did you see all those trainings on there? Yeah, I've seen a lot of that stuff. I just kind of dive into, I want to point them in the right direction so that they can also come to realization like, oh, they do have the training. Oh, I went and saw their overview video. They break things down for people. And then I dive deeper into that conversation of, I kind of go over the overview video, but a little more in depth with them because I want them to understand this business. You've given me permission to not hire everyone, which has been a blessing because sometimes
we want everybody to win. I want everybody to win. Not everybody wants themselves to win.
Correct.
And we're here to help motivated people.
Right.
I can't motivate people. They have to motivate themselves because motivation wanes. You got to have something internally.
Correct. And so that's the nice part of talking to people that actually want to win, and want to believe in themselves and have the ability to not know how to do it, but learn how to do it. And are like, okay, I trust you guys. Let's do this. So I break down, compensation. I break that down. I don't know if you want me to.
Sure. I mean, yeah, this is a training call. We're giving them the nuts and bolts. Okay. I hope you're taking notes, and if you're not, we'll have it on YouTube shortly, and you can take notes then. But the reality, though, is that when you're listening to someone that's done this 1,000 times, she's got the Cliff Notes version on what to do and what to say. So that's the point here, is take the Cliff Notes. Can you pass the test of Cliff Notes? Probably not. Gotta have to practice it enough. Maybe you gotta read it a bunch, take next to a smart kid, and then you can, Cliff Notes plus guy next door, probably get a C-, right? But you can at least get yourself in a position where you're getting the basis of this. You want it to pay you like you want it to pay you. You're going to have to really put work in, but let's take the Cliff Notes today and start to go look for processes where you can expand on the different things of what she's talking about. So yes, please.
Okay. So I talk about 9 points with them. And the first point is we have aggressive compensation here. Carrier contract rates are up to 145. Specifically, our commission starts at 90%, but our agency here, we're going to start you here. And I have that conversation with them. So they know we're bringing them on, higher than normal, higher than average in the industry. Then I go into payment-wise, how you are paid. No middleman fees. It's not a pass-through company, nothing like that. You're paid directly from the carrier. And then I go into monthly bonuses. You're able to participate in a monthly bonus structure, both agency-wise, as an independent agent, and then there's some carrier bonuses out there as well. So all these other opportunities for non-chargebackable bonuses. And some people know what that means, and then they'll ask, well, what does that mean? Well, this is an advanced business. So as an advanced business, you're earning commission advanced. So before you've received it all. I said that. I'm trying to break it down a little bit slower. So the annual premium is what you're paid off of. And if you're at 100% commission, you're going to earn 100% of that annual premium. 9 months of it is going to be advanced to you. Okay. And then that remaining 3 months is paid out as the client makes their final 3 payments in month 10, 11, and 12. I've really found out that really does break it down and drive the point home. Because if you start using percentages with some people who don't know this lingo, they're like, what are you talking about? And I don't want to confuse them. Confused people don't buy. So same thing, right?
Confused agents don't start.
Correct. And so I After that, I go into renewals. You know, if you're familiar with the industry, sometimes you have to wait 5-10 years for your renewals. And here with us at Family First Life, we're vested from day one, meaning your renewals are yours. Okay, that's important. Next thing is going to be our sales method. We've got virtual, we have face-to-face, and we have a hybrid approach. We've got training on all 3 platforms. We have a lot of resources for all 3 platforms, and we're really here to help you in whichever platform you choose. I will say this business is hard, okay? It's not something that's going to just be easy. Nothing in life worth doing is easy. And so I break that down a little bit, and I let them know what we would advise is to start face-to-face. Understand how to do that, because when you're face-to-face with a client, I can see your body language. I know what you're doing. I can assume your next step. Right, yeah, you're reserved. You're not going to buy. Like, your arms are clogged. You're open and willing to receive. Like, so it's silly, but I talk those things because people that aren't in this industry don't know that or have never been in sales. They don't understand that. So they're like, that makes sense why I should go run my first 100 appointments face-to-face. Bingo. So from there, I talk about the sales training that we have. We do training calls. They're not mandatory, and I stress that because some people are so used to people in other industries going, this is mandatory, you have to do this. And I say, it's not mandatory, but I will tell you this, if you're not on them, you're probably not going to gain any information. So it's important to be on them. We do have replays. We have training access, 24/7. This is what we use. We use Slack. We use fflamerica.com. And I kind of show them that. If I'm on a Zoom call with somebody, because sometimes I'll just jump on a Zoom call with them, and I'll show them Slack. I'll walk them through, hey, look, we just had a discount code for leads, or we've got a live training starting in 30 minutes. Actually, can you be on that? So they can see it happening in real time. They
Wonderful.
go, I'm not hiding anything, right? Next thing I talk about is leads. And this one, a lot of recruiters or agents kind of get held up on, and I just kind of bypass it. We're not going to play that game. So I talk about leads. Hey, so we're a leads-based business. Do you know what that means? And they say yes or no, and I still break it down either way. What that means is we have people who have requested coverage, people who are interested in what we're selling. And so we've got 15 different lead vendors that we work with. So there's anything from direct mail, internet leads, social media leads. They're all located on our CRM. So these are people who have requested coverage. Essentially, you're buying interest, okay? What I would advise is to spend $500 to $1,000 in your first lead purchase. That's going to give you ample amount of opportunity to learn how to dial the phone, how to handle objections, and how to sit your appointments. How to sit your appointments, how to close your appointments with our guidance. Does that make sense? And they say yes. And I say, does that sound like something you're able to do? And if they say no, I say, okay. And at that point, I know in that conversation, they're ambitious, they're hungry, but maybe they're on a hard time financially wise. And I'll talk to them, I'll switch the conversation and go in a different direction. I know that this is somebody I would vouch for you and say, hey, we should really help them out. Let's put them on a different plan, right? A lead assist program or something like that. And so we would have that conversation separately.
How's that look? Just so, we're teaching. Yeah,
so I would say, well, we do have a second option that we could offer you. I do feel like you're somebody who is ambitious. What we would do is start you out at a lower compensation at a 90%, and we would go ahead and give you your first few sets of leads. And from there, and we would have that conversation and break it down. These are, hey, you need to make 3 sales out of those leads. If you don't make the 3 sales, then we need to reconsider this. And it's a very, I would say, movable situation. It's fluid.
Yeah. Sure.
So, that's where I would go with that. And some people are very okay with that. And some people are like, nope, I'm going to come up with $1,000. I know it's important to invest in my business. Yeah, I want to invest in my business because they're starting to understand, like, this is a business. I'm not just,
signing up
to do whatever.
Work a booth at the fair.
Yeah, no. Mm-mm. And then I jump into the last part, which is, there's no fees here. So there's no training fee. There's no being a part of the club fee. And I say that because I kind of want them to laugh and know that I am human, but I'm also serious. And I go, so the next steps and what that really looks like is you're in Texas, right, John? He says, yes. Okay, perfect. So in Texas, you do have to take a pre-licensing course. Looks like it is 40 hours. And I break this down with them because I don't want them to be confused. And I say, this is, 40 hours worth of coursework. If you get it done a little bit sooner than that, that's up to you. It's at your own pace. What I would need from you is for you to schedule your exam 7 to 10 days from today. Is that something you're able to do? Looks like your state exam's $43. And they say, yeah, I can do that. Where do I go? Perfect. Let me confirm your email. Confirm your email. I'm going to send you an email right now. I'm going to break it down. It's going to have a few ways to stay plugged in with us. Go ahead and do that. Go ahead and schedule your state exam and send me a copy of your receipt so that I can get you into our coursework. Remember, we're going to cover that coursework at 100% for you, okay? So you don't have to come out of pocket for that. Usually runs anywhere between $250 and $300. And they're like, awesome, yep, send that over to me. And the people that are serious do it the same day or the next day. Some people wait a week out. They'll have that conversation with me. And then some people are like halfway through it and they're like, yeah, I just, I can't make ends meet and I really I need a job. And they keep saying those words or, I'm going to find something full time and I'm going to try to do this as like a side hustle. That's just not somebody I really want to work with and devote all of my time to.
You just can't because they're
Right.
not, they need more now. And it's not a problem. It's the reality though. If you need, like say hypothetically, they were so financially strung out, but they could get through the coursework. They got the license. They somehow managed to, whatever the licensing fee is, $50, $100. They got some leads or didn't. Even they got some leads and we hooked them up. We took care of them and helped them get started. Mm-hmm. If they're so tight financially, they're now, though, when they meet with a client, are selling for their own reasons and
Right.
pushing bigger policies, pushing stuff to go through that she wasn't going to be. They might even do something unscrupulous. They're pushing now for things that shouldn't be happening because they're so tight financially. And it's not as though any or all of us aren't tight financially. But the reality though is if you're so tight financially, you're not making decisions what's best for the client. You're making decisions much more focused what's best for you. And if you've just served the client, the universe, the big guy, the carriers will take care of you very handsomely, but there's a nuance, there's a time of skill development that it takes to learn how to have those conversations. It's not years, it's not even months sometimes. It's a few weeks of presentations. All of a sudden you're like, I got this. I have heard that rejection 3 times, overcome it the last 2. If I hear it again, I'm sure I can take care of it and help them move forward. Yeah, that makes great clarity for the client. But that you have to have, otherwise you're going to start, saying things you shouldn't, you're going to go down a path you don't want to be going down. So if they're so tight, I gotta have money. What bonus can you give me if I sign a class today?
Yeah, I will just shut them down immediately and be like, hey, John, I just don't think this is going to be a right fit for you and I. So I hope that something might change in the future. But for now, we're not going to move forward with this. I appreciate your time though. And then I just end the call.
And so let's go and and that happens. So the other way though, if it's going positive, though, the next step is get your
what they do is I send them a very detailed welcome email that says, hey, get plugged into Slack. We want to make sure they're plugged in, like you always say, they're on that curve, and we want to keep them there. We want to make sure that they're plugged in, they feel supported, and that they have belief. Somebody else has belief in them. And so we're going to send them the information for Texas if that's where they're at. And Excel Testing Solutions, if you go on there, as recruiters, there's a bunch of information on how to help support new agents getting going. And it breaks it all down for you. You don't have to do a lot of research. You just send them the PDF form, and it shows them where to schedule their exam, where to get fingerprinting, what codes they need, this, that, and the other thing, who to call. And so they get that information from me, and I CC the whole team on it, or us, our staff team. And then from there, they schedule their exam, they send it back to me. We get them into coursework. I send them their login information and say, hey, your exam date's this date. Let's keep you moving. We've got this call coming up on Thursday. You want to make sure you're on that. And then I'll send them some positive notes, every few days and have them, hey, it's really important you check in with me. Like we had our call today. I do a lot of those every day. So if you're trying to reach me, go ahead and shoot me a text or send me a call. If there's something important, let's connect. And then once they get licensed from there, they say, hey, Chynna, great, we got licensed, woohoo. And we're like, that's awesome. That's great. Now let's put in the work. And that's what I tell them. Like, now is when the fun starts. Now you have a national producer number. Let's get you into our onboarding process. And so if they're licensed already or they had just got licensed, I immediately call them, congratulate them. I grab their NPN and I say, okay, perfect. When's a good time to do an onboarding call? And this call is done on Zoom. We record it. One, we want to make sure that we're talking to the right person, but also we want to help guide them through this and make sure there's no hiccups from the beginning so that we're not dealing with it later when they're trying to write their first policy and their Americo number is not working or something. So our contracting manager steps in there. She helps get them through contracting with our, starter carriers. From there, they go and into boot camp. It's important to start boot camp, and then we connect with them. We do some calls with them. I jump on a lead strategy call, and then we get them out into the field. So,
That's awesome. There you go.
That's it.
That's it. And so, the bigger, one, drop a 3 in the comments below to show Chynna Fox some love, because she absolutely just dominated that training and in detail and just poise and control. And can you tell that she cares about her work now, and she does it well, and she knows what she's doing, and she knows the end goal, and she enjoys the work. And it's almost like, I don't want to say chess, but it's like pogo stick, right? Something that's more fun. Maybe some people really find chess fun.
It's strategic.
It's like jumping on a trampoline, right? It's like, what's going to happen? Am I going to get double bounce? Am I going to hurt my knees, or am I going to fall off? Or am I just going to be jumping up and down? She's just trampolining all day long of just fun, but like your work. It's fun work because, and it's not as though you wield the sword for their future. It's that you are in control of what you do, right? You get to decide who you're going to work with, who we're going to bring into our successful ecosystem, and who we're just like, hey, it's not a good fit right now, come back. But those that it is a good fit, like it's almost like a little bit of like, we know they're going to do well because we have a great environment here that has got a track record of success.
And it's exciting to see from start to finish. And not finish, but like for my part, like they're not going to need me after the 4th, 5th policy. They're going to be like, no, I'm good. And you're like, awesome. I'll see you on Slack. And so that's the nice part. Whenever they need something, I can help them out. But that's the cool part, seeing them from start when they were like, I don't know if I can do this, but I'm going to give it my all. And then they go out and they write their first policy and they call me and I'm like, how does it feel? And they're like, that was the easiest thing I've ever done.
It's like they wanted it. It's like they filled out a request for it.
Weird. And so it's really cool to have those conversations.
It's awesome, dude. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
So therein lies the philosophy for you as the viewer. Our hope for you is that this training was powerful enough for you to have the confidence and reality with detail that you could build an agency as well. Introduce people to this. Step 1, get good at producing. Then step 2, implement everything Chynna just taught you. But then also at the same standpoint is look for people that are like you, that are ambitious, looking to change their lives, and understand we've got millions of leads inside of our CRM, and you can get leads from anywhere. You don't have to buy our leads, and they're not our leads. They're hundreds of vendors that supply us, but they're people that are requesting it. They're people that are looking for coverage, and they're leads. They're not sales. It's a business. It's not a guarantee. But the reality, though, is we've got a really healthy business ecosystem for people that choose to embrace it. So, Chynna, thank you again. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming on. Everyone out there, make it a wonderful day, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.